What does it look like to love a community rather than to leave it?
She saved my life.
The people here, they care.
Someone cared enough to help them get better.
My hope for Milwaukee is that we come together as one.
Milwaukee, I love you.
Good morning and welcome to Positively Milwaukee. 75 years of serving every hospital in southeast Wisconsin. Versity has been saving lives with blood donations for longer than some of us have been alive. September is Blood Cancer Awareness Month. Shannon Sims talked to Versity leaders about how their anniversary is a perfect reason to recruit more donors.
Donor centers like these are a crucial part of Elodie Antala's life. She has sickle cell disease and has needed 500 units of blood over the past 4 years.
I was asked to talk to potential donors and explain to them how their blood donation was important to me directly. And so from then on, I kind of wanted to stick to the organization, so I found my way in.
Sharing her story is a big part of Elodie's new job at Versity. She says sickle cell disease comes with a wide variety of symptoms, including full body pain, called a pain crisis, and organ damage.
So without blood, for me personally, I probably would continue to have a lot of challenges and complications happening.
Blood exchange transfusions allow Elodie to be more active and outdoorsy. But leaders with Versity say transfusions work best when the donor and recipient are a strong match, including race and ethnicity.
Sickle cell disproportionately impacts African Americans, and so we've found over time that match can be so much better if the same ethnicity is donating that unit.
President and CEO Chris Miskell says working toward a more diverse donor pool is part of how Versity is celebrating its 75th anniversary. It's not just about blood. Versity is an organ procurement organization as well.
Someone that looks like us donates, we're more likely to find a match.
A brand new donor center could help find those matches. Chris says Versity just broke ground on a new facility on King Drive in partnership with the Thrive On collaboration.
Our role will be to provide education for folks that are looking to get into the workforce, some training around the importance of why diverse blood supply matters, and then ultimately to be able to collect blood for patients like Elodie.
He and Elodie see the space as a community center as much as they do a donation facility.
And the goal is just to have a presence and to continue to talk to people. Hopefully will allow us to continue to build that trust in the community.
As an employee, Elodie is excited to see all of the hard work Versity is putting into treating and curing blood diseases. But it's even more exciting for her as a patient.
To bring that to the new building and to educate our community members about the disease and many other diseases, but sickle cell is really, for me, very hopeful and just impactful.
Versity was involved in the very first bone marrow transplant between two unrelated people. CEO Chris Miskell says he's proud of that tradition of research and innovation, and he's confident the next 75 years will bring him just as much pride. Well, you probably have seen track and field races or even stock car races, but you're probably not familiar with the high-speed sport we're about to show you. James Groh talked to a man in West Dallas about racing pigeons.
He used to call me the Joker, and I would tell him I'm the Dark Knight, your worst enemy. So
that is Gene Siskowitz, the Dark Knight, and he's a pigeon racer.
I love pigeons, I've had them all my life. I tell the guys at the club I'm not a pigeon racer, I'm a pigeon lover.
The way pigeon racing works is you release them from one place and you time how long it takes for them to get home. Once Gene opens this door, the race begins. All right, so the race is on. It is 9:14. Got to make it back to West Dallas before these pigeons do from Johnson Creek. Wish me luck. The drive was about 42 miles. These pigeons are bred for racing, like beagles are bred for hunting. They can fly about 50 miles an hour, which made me nervous. I wouldn't make it back in time to get a shot of their return. So we're about 0.1 miles away from his house. It's 9:54. Here, hopefully we beat the pigeons. All right, so we beat the pigeons. Back home now, it's just time to get the shot. And there is the shot we worked so hard for.
I fed him a little extra, and I want to make sure you get the picture.
Gene has been racing pigeons for more than 60 years. His father got him hooked.
It's my favorite hobby, let's put it that way.
He trains pigeons using feeding techniques to teach the birds where their meals come from, so when they are released, they fly back to his house.
These pigeons are bred to come home.
Plus, each bird has a special tag on its foot, confirming it's one of Gene's.
When I was younger, I used to love hunting, fishing, pigeons, and I could do all kinds of sports. Now, I prefer just hanging out in the backyard and watching the pigeons.
Gene trains his pigeons with the flight from Johnson Creek twice a week. In the summer, he races most weekends. There isn't any money involved. It's just for the love of the race and keeping a tradition alive. For Positively Milwaukee, I'm James Gray.
Now, Gene admits that pigeon racing isn't as popular as it used to be, but he's going to keep going with it as long as he's able because he does not want the sport to die off. Coming up after the break, we're going to tell you about a chance for you to help youngsters in our area develop strong reading skills. Plus, Giannis is a name we all know and love in Milwaukee. You're going to meet a group learning about his early years. But before we go, don't forget lunch with me every other Wednesday at 12:30 on Facebook Live. I recently got the chance to talk to Ryan J. Now, he's a movie critic, and you've probably seen his reviews on the Morning Blend or on the morning weekends. Ryan has had a long career in TV. He's also a Wizard of Oz historian. He even worked on the Jerry Springer Show. His movie reviews are heard all over the country, and every week I chat with somebody who's doing good in the community, a person who inspires and is truly positively Milwaukee. Somebody just like Ryan J. Tune in every week to ask a question or leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Welcome back to Positively Milwaukee. Reading is one of those lifelong skills you really need to get by. Our If You Give a Child a Book campaign is a chance for you to help children in Milwaukee get an early start. A solid foundation in reading sets up kids for success in school and life. Katie Crowther talked to a business owner in Milwaukee, making sure young readers have access to diverse storytelling.
Ashley Valentine started her career as a school teacher, but says she couldn't find enough books featuring diverse characters.
When Black and brown kids are looking at books and they don't see themselves, it's hard to imagine yourself in that situation or in that experience, and you kind of start to develop subconsciously thoughts of this happens to these types of people and it's not a possibility for me.
Ashley wanted her students to get this sense of possibility and belonging that comes from seeing yourself in a story. So she decided to leave the classroom.
Black and brown students typically don't score as well in literacy, so I thought that I could reach a different subset of students and reach parents in another way.
And that's how her bookstore, Rooted MKE, was born. Ashley works hard to find and fill her shelves with titles like Harlem Grown and All Boys Aren't Blue. She has books for all ages, especially younger readers.
Typically, kids who have a love of reading start that love of reading really early. So making sure that you build those connections really early on helps to make sure that they kind of stick with it, and then their love of reading grows as their selection of books grows as well.
And those skills are more than just a pastime. They are vital to everyday life. Being able to read at grade level is an important indicator of whether a child will graduate high school.
As we know, kids who don't read well as kids grow up to be adults who struggle to read, and I think that interferes with your confidence, your ability to kind of navigate society and interact with people.
Parents can help their kids build that confidence by practicing reading together, whether that's signs and labels while you're running errands or one-on-one story time at home.
Reading is an experience, and if you're able to enjoy that experience with the people who are close to you and who you feel safe and supported by, then it definitely makes it easier.
Ashley says she also offers tutoring and exploration sessions to offer a full circle experience. You can help youngsters all over the Milwaukee area find the power of reading. You can donate till the end of September to benefit Next Door Milwaukee. Every $5 you give buys a book for a child in your community. It's easy to donate. Just head to tmj4.com or text 4-books to 345-345. Well, here in Milwaukee, of course, we love Giannis Antetokounmpo, but people in his Greek hometown love him just as much. Ryan Jenkins talked to some WTMJ radio listeners who took the trip of a lifetime.
It's an excursion these WTMJ radio listeners will never forget.
And of course, with Giannis so popular in Milwaukee, and we knew how popular he'd be in Greece, we took the trip to Greece.
The group even ended up on Greek TV.
This is not near the sights and sounds of Athens or of Greece, so they're not used to seeing tourists there. We show up with our Giannis gear on and our Milwaukee hats and shirts, and they were so excited to see people from Milwaukee.
And there was no shortage of Antetokounmpo appreciation throughout the neighborhood. While on a tour of the area where the Milwaukee Bucks superstar learned his craft, a stop at the basketball court locals remember a younger Giannis playing on.
We definitely got a feel for the neighborhood where Giannis grew up, which is busy and poor and clustered.
A moment to stop and reflect, learning more about the roots of a champion that means so much to our hometown.
To walk the streets and to hang out on the street corner and sidewalk where Giannis was a small boy, and to look up and know that this is a poor neighborhood in Greece where he had almost nothing, gave us all a real appreciation for how hard he had to work to get out of this working class neighborhood and become the guy that we all appreciate and admire.
Well, you probably recognize that is radio host John McCure, and we do have more pictures from his trip to Greece at tmj4.com. A local gym helping veterans get healthy through combat sports training. Lance Allen talked to some of the trainers about how they're building community all at the same time.
The concept behind it is to incubate veteran small businesses. On top of that, we also offer combat sports training, so mixed martial arts, boxing. We have open gym format.
Such is the thought behind Fuel Performance Center in Oak Creek, helping veterans in need.
Honestly, just taking care of my brothers, because I was a medic in the Army with the 10th Mountain Division, 2nd Battalion, 14th Infantry, and as a medic, that's what it is. You keep everybody alive. You are your brother's keeper, and you're the first line person when they have mental problems who they talk to. So it means a lot to me because I've lost a lot of friends to suicide myself.
You get really close to people when you tend to go through tough times with them. So whether it's just pushing yourself individually to get through that workout and do that extra rep, and you're doing it with your brothers and sisters, that helps bring that camaraderie, kind of that same camaraderie that they got in the military.
And this is more than a gym.
It's home. It's a place to go home. I think when I got out of the military and I transitioned and I went from veteran resource to veteran resource. I went from to working with veteran resources, being employed by veteran resources. I learned the one thing that everyone's I learned that we just need a home.
Recently, Hooper and Newberry held an MMA fight for charity, all to help their fellow military members.
A lot of PTSD is worked with through, things like fight training, jiu-jitsu, working out, and, workout classes, lifting weights. And being the veteran community, doing that all together with a few extra people who want to come in, first responders are welcome here too. It's just a better community.
Just the fact that they're doing something positive and, continuing to be healthy and encourage others to also go down the same path that they did.
And it's so great to see people coming together to support each other through hard times. Coming up after the break, meet a young man competing in a world championship for barefoot water skiing. But first, we're going to go to the dogs and meet our Positively Milwaukee Pet of the Week.
Hi, I'm Johanna at HAWS, the Humane Animal Welfare Society in Waukesha, and today I am joined by my Positively Milwaukee friend Nessie. Nessie is about a year old, and she is one of our foster dogs. So she lives in a foster home. She does come to the shelter for viewings. You can schedule a viewing with Nessie by appointment, but I'll give you some details. She is, like I said, 1 year old. And she gets along with other dogs. She loves to play with other dogs. We're recommending children a little bit older, like 12 and older, because she can get a little bit mouthy. She's not the dog that's gonna go to public functions with you. She prefers a more quiet, chill home setting. Although she does well with dogs, Nessie would prefer a home without cats. This girl is super, super playful and very, very smart. So, if you are interested in finding out more about Nessie or any of our other Positively Milwaukee friends at HAWS, please go to hawspets.org or give us a call at 262-542-8851.
To find out
who we have here that's positively Milwaukee.
Welcome back, everybody. Summer may be coming to an end, but that's not keeping one young man from boating. He's got a lot of training to do for the World Championships of barefoot water skiing. Delaney Bride talked to him about his training regimen.
With over 15,000 lakes, open water isn't too hard to find in Wisconsin.
You got Lake Michigan and all these small lakes like Paddock Lake.
And when you're into a sport like barefoot water skiing,
all you need is a rope and a wetsuit pretty much, and a boat to pull you.
It's hard to stay on land.
It's the best feeling ever. It's like an adrenaline rush, and whenever you stand up your passes, like land that big jump, it's like there's nothing like it. You got goosebumps and you want to keep on doing it.
Bit by the ultimate water bug, Carter Borman is a 16-year-old kid living the dream.
3 years ago, probably, I started going to tournaments and like realizing like I can really do this if I work hard enough, and it's been really cool to see myself progress and get better.
Jumping out on the water at the age of 9, Carter quickly learned the ins and outs of this barefoot sport.
Some water, if it's warmer or hotter, it can feel like slippery or like really hard. And if the water's really rough, it makes it like 20 times harder to do everything. So you need pretty calm water.
Today, the Wisconsin native is a proud member of the USA National Barefoot Water Ski Team.
I've skied 3 nationals so far, and I was gonna ski the 2020 Worlds, but it got canceled because of COVID. But I'm hoping to go and like do really well at the Worlds in Australia in 2023.
Which is why Carter has spent most of his summer training.
Down in Florida in Winter Haven, I ski at the World Barefoot Center. There's a bunch of kids down there my age, and we all ski together and make each other better.
But with the school year approaching, Carter's training will continue in the water where it all started, on Paddock Lake.
You can always improve and get better, always new stuff to learn, and it really mentally challenges you with like fear and just overcoming challenges.
In February, Carter will pack up his wetsuit and head to Australia, ready to show the world how Wisconsin makes waves.
Carter and his teammates are fundraising for their trip to Australia. If you'd like to donate, we have a link, tmj4.com. School is in session, football teams are playing, and pumpkin flavors are everywhere. We're heading into fall, and we wanted to know, what is your favorite part of the season?
Fall is salmon fishing.
Yeah?
Salmon coming into the harbor is one of the best things, best favorite times of the year. Oh, water temps. They get low enough, under 65 is when they tend to run.
Probably the leaves changing. My parents actually live north of Milwaukee, and they have a beautiful yard on the river, so that's my favorite spot.
The weather. Yeah, I'm not from here, so
That's okay.
just enjoying this right now.
Yeah, you like it when it's a little cooler like this?
Yes, of course. Sweatshirt, it's the best.
The weather.
The weather, what do you like about the weather?
It's not hot.
Cooler temperatures.
Cooler time. Are you a sweater weather lady?
Yes.
My favorite thing about fall is biking outside in the weather and seeing the seasons turn and the leaves, and just feeling that last time to be outside and really experience it.
Oktoberfest.
Okay.
Oktoberfest beers.
Okay. I love festivals.
Okay.
For fall. Just any of them, really. I would go to the Bridge Festival, but it's over in Indiana a lot.
Oh,
but like craft shows, stuff like that. They're my favorite.
Definitely Halloween movies. Favorite Halloween movie? Either Nightmare Before Christmas. I don't know, maybe that one. Okay. Nightmare Before Christmas for sure.
I'm the worst person to ask about fall because I love summer most of all, so I am not on team fall. So I love a crisp day, but summer as long as we can have it.
If you have a fall memory you'd like to share, head over to our Positively Milwaukee Facebook group. You can always suggest a question that you'd like us to ask. The weekend, always a wonderful time to relax and do some self-care, maybe even a mini spa day. Well, guess what? An elephant beat us to it, and this is our first reason to smile this morning. Now, you got to check out this video from the Milwaukee County Zoo, an elephant taking a mud bath. Now, the staff says the mud is a natural sunscreen and bug repellent. It also keeps the elephant's skin from drying out. The zoo is home to 3 African elephants, Ruth, Brittany, and Belle. Asian elephants are endangered, but programs like this help preserve their numbers. Baseball season's still going on, and maybe you're looking for some new Brewers gear. Well, the wives of several Brewers players have launched their own collection in partnership with Brew City. You're going to be able to buy the goods at the Brewers team store. Now, the designer said they wanted to create fun and fashionable clothes for all fans, and a portion from the proceeds will be donated to the Hunger Task Force. And guess what? We had a very special visitor to our studios recently, Canhead from Kenosha. Now, his real name is Jamie Keaton, and he set a world record for sticking 10 aluminum cans to his head. And he was recently named our Kenoshan of the Week. Now, Jamie says when he was young, his family actually thought it was just pine sap from a tree that was causing things to stick to his head. But doctors say Jamie actually absorbs a lot more oxygen through the pores of his skin than other people. He's one of only 4 people in the world with this condition. And if you're looking to own your own business, a pretty fun one is for sale. Coz's Mini Bowl in Milwaukee is on the market for just under $500,000. Now, the owner has been working there since he was 6. His own father bought it back in 1978. But now Justin Kozakowski says it is now time for a change. He's looking for a more quiet lifestyle. But he does say the bowling alley is part of Milwaukee history, so he wants whoever buys it to honor the legacy of Coz's Mini Bowl. I'll be back with my quote of the week. It's always been easy to hate and destroy. To build and cherish is much more difficult. Those words come from the late Queen Elizabeth II. She, of course, passed away earlier this month after serving 70 years on the British throne. During that time, Queen Elizabeth was a beacon of stability. She met 13 American presidents and served alongside 15 British prime ministers. She also saw many of Britain's Commonwealth countries gain independence. But one thing never changed: the Queen's service and dedication to her people. That certainly was not easy, but the best things in life are worth the work. So let us all remember that, and as always, stay positively Milwaukee.